what do we got next, buddy?
So coming up next,
Pal?
we had a series finished last week that you and I have been pretty jazzed about. But Specs 4 came out last week.
Yep.
We read that, and we haven't. I don't think we've talked about it yet. So
No, you posted about it on.
I did
Instagram.
post about it, but I also didn't want to like give too much away about what is it, Ted and Kenny. I was Ted and Kenny.
Yep.
I don't want to give too much away about like the ending.
No.
And for an ending too, it really for me, they like hit it out of the park. Like it was a spectacular event. It was a well told story in 4 issues. I'm trying to think. It's just like it's about their friendship, right? Like and is it Ted?
Yeah.
Ted. Yeah. Ted's the like kind of the.
Now I'll Google it if you just want to tell the story.
Yeah, so Ted and Kenny are 2 friends. One of them is like kind of a star baseball player, and I think Kenny's the baseball player. Yeah, and he doesn't really hang out with his team outside of school and like the extracurricular activity of baseball. But he mostly just hangs out with Ted, and Ted's not really anybody in school. Like not popular with the rest of the crowd, but they're best friends. And then Ted ultimately like has this secret that he hasn't told anybody, but he's still in the closet and he has a crush on Kenny.
Yeah. And so this is actually based off of because I was reading just now. David Boer is he's gay, and so I think that this has a little bit of, probably a lot of influences from his childhood and experiences that he would have had. And just not to like, I feel like I cut you off right there, but I felt like this was handled so well. And I love when I see not being gay, but being someone who's affirming of that community and has friends who are gay, and even has one in the chat right now. So like it's so cool to be able to see that representation and to see struggles and to have those stories be out, because it's important to be able to just be like, I'm a kid in high school. I have feelings for my best friend that I don't know how to articulate, and how, I'm scared of how he would feel. It's such a human story. And again, like, even if you're not gay, you've had experiences where you've, started to have a crush on somebody who's a friend, like it just happens. And so it's interesting to be able to put yourself into that world where, like, you can see that and you can relate to it. And it's, I've thought it was great.
Yeah. And so like that, but like that story is kind of like the secondary story going on, but it was still very much brought forward just because like you have these 2 friends are going through the struggle of, wow, we got these really cool, awesome wishing glasses that just showed up on our step. And then turns out these things are bad. And they're figuring out how to get rid of them. And they go through that whole journey of, like it got really well wrapped up with like those last few lines of like, it's not really about what we can wish for, but what we should wish for, or like
the wishes we didn't make.
Make. Yeah. Yeah. And just really gives a lot of thought to just like, we all have things that we want and things that we wish for. And there's a lot of things that we can do but you always have to think about like the should aspect of it. And I think that's kind of what this story was pointing out, of like what you should and should not do, like in a
situation like
this, but also just like with your friends and like how you do go about like revealing or just being vulnerable with your friends and being honest. It's like,
or dealing with bullies.
Right.
Or dealing with like living in a small town. It's like, it's easy to like, I guess like a theme of this book is like, it's easy to wish, but it's harder to do,
Yeah.